So what would it look like for you if it were different? If you didn't have that responsibility and if they weren't leaning on you, what would your life look like? What would you be doing?
Oh, I would have soared higher.
You think so?
Absolutely. I feel like I'm angry at everybody in my family. I don't like my family. If they weren't my family, they wouldn't be my friends.
70 million in sales and you got $1,972? Is that right?
Did, that's right. That's true.
No, the burden on you is the one that made it out. But you gotta be willing to let them fly.
I feel like I do. I feel like they don't let me.
Toni Braxton didn't just hold the mic. She held the entire Braxton legacy on her back. And now, she's finally saying out loud what people have whispered for years. She was the money, the muscle, and the emotional glue keeping that family together. From the moment she could sing, Toni wasn't just performing, she was providing. While the others smiled for cameras, she carried the weight behind the curtain. But decades of being the backbone, breadwinner, and babysitter have taken their toll. Behind the glitter of Braxton family values was chaos, jealousy, arguments, and unspoken resentment. A family so dependent on Toni. They forgot she was human, too. She's now calling out Trina and Towanda for crossing serious lines, taking from her, using her kindness, and making her feel guilty for not giving more when she had nothing left. Fans saw smiles and sisterhood, but behind the scenes, Toni was emotionally drained, financially stretched, and left wondering who truly had her back. Now she's ready to talk, and baby, this Braxton drama runs deep. From the outside, Toni looked untouchable. The voice, the awards, the glam. But beneath the red carpet glow was misery. She redefined R&B, sold over 70 million records, and built a brand that fed her entire family. Yet they treated her success like community property. And now, she's finally saying no more. Toni Braxton isn't just an artist. She's a living legend. 7 Grammys, a voice that moves souls. But after all the work, she doesn't have much left to show for it.
70 million in sales and you got $1,972? Is that right?
Did, that's right. That's true.
Let's rewind to where it all began. Severn, Maryland. 6 kids, 1 gospel-singing mama, and more dreams than money. Toni was the eldest. When her mother suffered a serious accident that left her hospitalized for months, everything changed overnight. Little Toni became a caretaker, cooking, cleaning, and making sure her siblings had food on the table. She stepped into her mother's shoes before she even reached adulthood, while her father worked long hours to keep the lights on.
About 13 or 14, my mom, she had a really bad accident. She fell. Her back was really messed up, so she was in hospital a long time. And so I was the surrogate parent for a moment.
Where was Dad?
Working, had to make a living at 6.
When Toni's star began to rise in the early 90s with hits like Unbreak My Heart and Breathe Again, the energy at home shifted. Instead of celebrating, her family allegedly started seeing her as their personal ATM. She's admitted she's been emotionally and financially drained for years, paying rent, car notes, even covering failed business ventures. Though she never named names, fans connected the dots, especially toward Trina and Towanda. Toni claimed they expected not only emotional support but paychecks, invoices, titles, and salaries, all from her. Meanwhile, Tamar was the only one showing real loyalty, singing backup for free and never asking for a dime. Even their mother leaned heavily on Toni, forgetting she had her own limits. When Toni said, "I could have soared higher if I didn't have to carry so much," that wasn't a quote. That was decades of pain in one sentence.
They weren't leaning on you. What would your life look like? What would you be doing?
Oh, I would have soared higher.
And this Braxton drama? Oh, it's just getting started. What began as one sister's heartbreak has opened a vault of secrets, jealousy, and betrayal. By this point, Toni was a global icon, chart-topping hits, sold-out tours, and a voice that defined an era. Yet behind the scenes, she was holding everyone else up while barely standing herself. Despite selling over 170 million records, Toni wasn't rich. She was earning just 35 cents per album. She was feeding an entire label while starving her own bank account. When she finally sued in 1998 to reclaim her power, bankruptcy followed just 8 weeks later. IT wasn't wild spending. It was a predatory deal that charged her for everything. Studio time, stylists, music videos, even hotel rooms. She was funding her own fame and getting crumbs in return. And then came that Oprah interview, the one where empathy turned to humiliation. When Oprah asked, "If you're so famous, why are you broke?" the world watched Toni's confidence crumble in real time.
That you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this. Because it would appear, and you can explain to us whatever you want to explain to us, but it would appear that even if you don't believe that you got the percentages you felt that you got, you still knew that there was a certain amount of money coming in. Exactly. And you overspent that amount of money.
Well, I was doing math. 1 + 1 is 2 all day long, all across.
That moment broke something in her. Toni walked in expecting understanding, but left shattered. The industry chewed her up, and the public called her careless. That interview didn't just sting. It shattered her image and her spirit.
What happened?
Because I allowed all my finances to become everyone else's finances. That's pretty much how I got.
But here's the twist. Word is, Oprah allegedly tipped off Toni's label before the interview, warning them she might expose her unfair contract. Instead of sisterhood, it felt like betrayal. Toni tried to rebuild, but in 2010, tragedy struck. She was diagnosed with microvascular angina and lupus, forcing her to cancel her Las Vegas residency. Her insurance covered nothing. Every cost, stage, crew, lighting, dancers, came from her pocket. Within months, she was bankrupt again. Then came the IRS, a $340,000 tax lien, plus over $116,000 owed to California. Nearly $500,000 in debt. Still touring, still performing, still giving. But behind the spotlight, she was drowning, still carrying everyone else's burdens on her back.
None of my siblings have helped me take care of my mother to make sure she was okay, except for Tamar. No one said,
"This is before Vincent."
Before Vince, Mommy's car insurance is due. Let's help Toni with Mommy car insurance.
Every time she tried to rise, something pulled her down. When Braxton Family Values aired, viewers saw laughter, but off camera, there was tension over money. Toni and Tamar were reportedly paid more, and the others weren't having it. Filming shut down after explosive arguments. Toni walked off, done for good. After everything, the bankruptcies, the illnesses, the betrayals, even Toni Braxton had a breaking point. She's still standing, yes. But at what cost?
Because at this stage in my life, I'm exhausted on my sister's behalf.
Emotionally, she's been running on fumes. These aren't teenage arguments. They're grown women in their 40s and 50s feuding like it's high school. Tamar and Towanda don't even speak. Family events turned into battlefields. When their sister Tracy passed, they vowed to keep peace in her memory, but that promise is long gone. Recently, Tamar's show premiered, and not one sister showed up. Days before, a blow-up erupted. Then Towanda posted a cryptic message. "To everyone who distanced themselves from me, stay there." Even weddings became political. Toni and Trina stood as Towanda's bridesmaids, but Tamar was nowhere to be seen. The lines are drawn.
Matter of respect. I respect where people are. That's just.
Is that where?
I respect where people are. I don't engage. I don't pour into certain types of energy. I make different choices in my life. And that's just where I am.
Towanda later clapped back. "I don't pour into certain vibes anymore." Translation? She's done. Fans are split. Some say Tamar's too dramatic. Others say Towanda's jealous. But this isn't just sibling rivalry. It's a family fractured decades in the making. Even Toni, once the glue, is stepping back. Online, fans are pleading for peace. Toni deserves rest. This started with their parents. And they might be right. Because at the root of the Braxton saga lies old wounds. Expectations, favoritism, and pain passed down. And nowhere is that clearer than in the story of Tracy Braxton. Tracy's heartbreak began early. She was cut from the group's first record deal after getting pregnant. And that wound never healed. Beneath her smile was deep hurt, especially toward Toni. Their love was real, but bruised. After Tracy's passing in 2022, that unresolved pain still haunts the family. When Toni says she's drained, she's not just talking about money. She's talking about grief.
makes it a little more difficult. Sometimes I wake up every morning and I go, oh, did I dream it? Did I dream it? And I have to remind myself, no, she's gone, but she's been here with us for 50 years. So I try to relish in that moment and try to smile about it and just be grateful for the time you have. And you have to always remember to be kind to one another. We're sisters, so we're always going to fight. That's what sisters do, okay? It's the rite of passage to fuss and fight, but in the end, we're always there.
When Braxton Family Values first aired, fans saw a comeback, but in reality, it tore them apart. Turning private pain into primetime TV only made things worse. Toni once said quietly, "I don't want to be the strong one anymore." That line hit millions of women. Every oldest daughter who's had to hold it all together. That wasn't a quote. It was a cry for help. Now, Tamar's bringing Tracy's daughter, Ashley Braxton, into the new season, and it's about to get explosive. Years ago, Ashley accused Trina's ex-husband of sending her inappropriate texts, a claim the family buried. Bringing her back means reopening that wound. Tamar says it's about healing. Others say it's about drama. Maybe it's both. But one thing's certain, this isn't just TV anymore. It's decades of silence, pain, and guilt bubbling to the surface. For Toni, the woman who carried it all, this might finally be the moment everyone else has to face the truth, whether it leads to healing or total collapse. We're about to find out that S.O. What do you think? Is Tamar trying to mend the family? Or is this just another messy chapter in the Braxton saga?